What kind of mindset do you have to be prepared to receive that level of abundance?
Nobody joins a basketball team, goes and plays their first game, and then starts winning championships, right? So it's the same when it comes to this level of success, right? There is a journey that you have to go on, and everything becomes a lesson in life. Everything. If you don't master the first lesson, you're gonna have to repeat it because you're not moving on to the next lesson. One of the things that is, I think everybody should understand is if you want to make money, you gotta spend it. You gotta spend it.
Yeah.
That's a biblical principle, sowing and reaping, right? Whatever you want to reap, you can reap the harvest, but you gotta sow the seed. Yeah. So you need to start now with building a community. Start now with identifying how you're gonna help people. Before you determine what you're going to sell, determine how you're going to serve, right? That's a big misnomer that people walk away from going, well, I just want to sell, I want to sell. No, you need to serve first and then sell later.
Pay attention and listen, we about to teach class. Inside the vault, my man Ash Cash. So get your man right. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. you see him to change your life. Millionaire mindset, the best on earth. Blueprint, the wealth, the knowledge network. So get it while you can, and he's standing right here. Just come inside the vault and see black millionaires. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Come inside the vault and see black millionaires. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You won't ask cash, you can catch it right here in the vault.
All right, so welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, the greatest money mindset show on the entire planet. Yo, when I tell you we have a powerful interview today, we have the one, the only, Mr. Darius Williams, AKA Darius Cooks in the building. Let me tell you, this man is a serial entrepreneur. He gets busy. His food is awesome, and he has an inspiring story. And I thought it was, really, matter of fact, I'm not even going to give you all of why I want this brother on here. You're going to see why this is a very important interview. My man Darius Cooks in the building. What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
How are you, man?
I'm good.
Yo, thank you so much, man, for being our guest, man. I'm excited because my wife put me on to you, man. Like, I think that she started out watching your videos, and honestly, before even watching some of your videos, we went to one of your restaurants here in Atlanta. And before we get to all that, though, but for those who don't know, who is Darius Williams?
That's a very interesting question. I'm just a simple guy. That's it. I'm just a simple guy. I like to eat good food. I like to cook good food, and I like to make money. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Right. That's it. And I build community really well. I use my skills, my gifts, my abilities to launch and create 7-figure businesses, and that's just how I get down.
Yeah,
that's it.
man.
It's real simple. I'm real simple. I'm real cool. I don't really walk around with these pretenses and all that. I'm probably one of the most chill people you're probably ever gonna meet.
I love that, and take us to the genesis of this entrepreneur, because your backstory is very inspiring. Being someone who made a lot of money in corporate. Yeah. And then tell us that story. So
I was in corporate for a while, like 14 years as a progressive career HR working in corporate. And I was also on the side, like working on creating a YouTube channel and videos and recipes. And I have my little blog out, writing recipes, and people started catching fire. So people started watching more and more. Before live stream was a thing, I was doing live stream on YouTube. And so people would tune in on Saturday mornings, we all cook together. And I just started creating this community just from being online. So fast forward, I get more and more followers. And the thing that I said to myself was, I think I probably had about 30,000 followers on Instagram. I said, I have too many followers to be going to work every day. Like to get up and go to a 9 to 5. And so that for me was the start of, how do I switch this? Like what mindset has to happen so I shift from me having to go to somebody's 9 to 5 versus me now owning my own business. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I had a little idea for this little dinner party, a little 7-course dinner party That, of course, caught on like wildfire, and I'm still doing it this year. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it this year, only 7 dates or 7 cities, but next year I got 176 events. Everything's completely sold out.
And I was gonna give you that smoke though. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, yo, like literally, my wife, we saw you posted.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, all right, we should go to one of the dates. And we tried to book a date that was further down the line though. It wasn't done.
Gone.
Wow.
Gone.
Wow.
Yeah, we sold all the tickets sold in like 48 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, majority of the tickets were gone like within like 4 hours.
Yeah.
But you have like straggler cities like, no shade, Minneapolis, I think Jacksonville, Florida, like little smaller markets.
Yeah.
So it took a while for those to go, but everything's completely sold out.
Wow.
So Dining with Darius, so I started that actually in 2015, and then I was also writing a cookbook, my first book that I wrote in 2015 and published it in 2015, and then from there it just, it just happened, man. It's like hard work, ingenuity, constantly not giving up and trying to raise the bar for yourself, and really only competing with me. Like I'm not focused on what other people are doing. It gets you where you gotta get to.
And so when you left corporate though, what you making 20,000, 30,000? You wasn't making no money.
No.
In corporate.
No, in corporate I was making money. So I was a director of HR for a company, Cushman and Wakefield, it was headquartered in New York. My base salary was $150, and then I was eligible for 5-figure bonuses, so like 25, 30 grand, annual. So like a 180.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Are you a coach, consultant, service provider, course creator, or expert that wants more clients to happily pay you $3K to $10K for your programs and services? If you answered yes, I have a special gift for you. It's from my guy, Marquell Russell, and it's called the Paid Ad Playbook, which shows you how to actually get 50 to 100 leads every single day that actually convert into clients. Marquell, he's used the same process to help clients create over $250 million in revenue. And this is more than $250 million. You heard me right. Some of the top influencers, coaches, and consultants in the world have used Marquell strategies to build multi-million-dollar businesses, and they still use them on a daily basis. And the cool thing is that this works for you even if nobody knows who you are. So to get free access, go to InsideTheVaultGift.com or text VAULT to 904-447-5274. Again, that's InsideTheVaultGift.com or text VAULT to 904-447-5274. My guy's gonna take care of you. Let him know that Ash Cash sent you. Yep. So you're making 180,000.
Yeah, 180K.
And Darius says, yo, I want to bet on myself.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what happened. So I put the tickets out, and people who are on Facebook remember this. I put tickets out. No. I put a message and I said, hey, if I do a 7-course dinner party, would you come? And so people were like, yeah, of course I would come. So, but this was like, 6 years ago, before algorithms and all that stuff. So I put the tickets on sale. And I'm still going to work, Tickets on sale, and the first 25 tickets, because that's all it was, 25, sold out in like 2 minutes, right? And I was like, okay, maybe I might be on to something, right?
Yeah.
So people were coming back and saying, I didn't get a chance to get a ticket, you have to add another date. And nobody had ever done this, or at least I haven't seen it done, so I'm like, all right, how do you do this? So I added a second date, sold out in like 5 minutes.
Wow.
Right? Then people were like, well, I was in a meeting or I was at lunch, I didn't see it, so can you add another date? So I added a third date, all 3 in New York. I did a third date, a little bit under 2 hours, that one sold out. So in 2 hours and 7 minutes, I have made $7,500.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, 7,500 times this, carry the 1, subtract the 3. I was like, okay, I might be onto something. So what I said was, if the other ones sell out, so I'm gonna put tickets on sale. If it sells out, then I'll come to that particular city. So that was Orlando. Just sold out.
Wow.
I said, okay, well, I'm going to Orlando. So then everybody commented, you gotta come to Chicago, you gotta come to Atlanta. I wasn't living here at the time. You gotta come to LA, you gotta come to San Francisco. I don't know how to do any of this because it hadn't been done before.
Right.
So I figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Wow.
So that was the bet on myself. It was that conversation. And I remember it because the conversation was, for me, how much money do I need?
Yep.
How much money do I want? Right? And so even if I worked doing dinner parties twice a week, right?
Yep.
Saturday and Sunday, I would still make more than I needed to survive off of. And that was the conversation I had in my head. And that was the deciding factor for me to quit. So in March, I quit, March 2015.
And so knowing the numbers, right? So it wasn't that it was only just a leap of faith. This was planned.
Oh, it was numbers. Yeah, it was numbers.
It was numbers. It was making sure it was calculated.
Sure, yeah.
And then and so before we go further into that, though, let's go back a little bit. You know, where did the love for cooking come from? At what age did that come from? And like that passion for it.
Yeah, I feel like it's always been there. So it's like people who know how to sing really well. People don't really ask them, well, where'd you learn how to sing?
Yeah.
It's just a gift that they have, and they work on honing and developing the gift. Yeah. I feel like cooking for me was a gift, right? Never been to culinary school, it just was a gift. But I did work on honing it and understanding what we call a culinary point of view, so I know how to present and tell my story through food. Yeah. And I guess it just comes from being around, most kids around their grandparents, your grandmother in the kitchen cooking, your mother's in the kitchen cooking. Holidays, there's a big fanfare about what's about to happen. And I guess subconsciously there was this affinity or this connection to that kind of a movement, which really sort of inspired me. So that really is the underlying key to even why I do my dinner parties, because I want that sort of camaraderie. I want that feeling. I want people to come in and go, this feels like a family reunion. This feels good. I mean, there's so much craziness going on right now in the world. To be able to escape that for a small moment, just to be in this real cool environment, I think is worth it. So that to me is where some of the ideas and some of the passion originated from. And it's grown, obviously since then.
A lot, right?
Yeah, it's going a lot.
We gonna get to that.
Yeah,
We're gonna get to that.
a lot.
And then so now you're doing these dinner parties. You quit your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I remember first coming out here to Atlanta. There were these restaurants that were popping. Like you didn't really know the owner. You didn't hear about the owner, but you like, oh nah, you in Atlanta? Yo, go to X, Y, go here. And so at what point do you transition into like, you know what? I'm doing these dinner parties. I'm making money. I want to start a restaurant.
Yeah, I think it's like this path that you go down, right? Yeah. And you make calculated risks. I'm a Capricorn, that's kind of what we do. I mean, it's embedded inside of me. Yeah. So you go, I want to make X amount of dollars. I have matriculated to a specific point in life. And if I want to make this, I need to invest this in order to get this in terms of a return. So for me, it was a natural progression to go, well, let's start a restaurant, right? I'm glad I did it, and I'm not so glad I did it, because I learned some very valuable lessons from doing it. But I opened one, it was a success.
And what was the name of that?
Greens and Gravy. So I opened up Greens and Gravy. It was a ravaging success. Before we closed, I think table wait times on a Sunday or a Saturday were like four hours just to get in. Wow. So that to me signals we're doing something good.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I did the first one. Then I was in Houston hanging out with a buddy of mine, and she took me to a crab spot. And I was like, it'd be nice if they served collard greens. Yeah. And she was like, no, nobody do that. I said, oh, I should do that.
Right.
So I opened up a joint called Soul Crab, right? So it was where you can get collard greens, macaroni and cheese. Yeah, no, it was amazing. You can get all this seafood and soul food mixed together. Yeah. Opened up Soul Crab Atlanta. It became like a destination spot. People are coming, wait times. Friday nights, we got live DJ. I mean, it's just a whole situation going on. Yeah. And then I said, well, let me do one in Chicago as well. So I opened up one in Chicago, and same thing, same vibe, everything's good, everything's going great. So I think to answer your question, it was, I just was at a point in my career where I was welcoming the next opportunity, right? I think as an entrepreneur, you're always saying, here, this is where I am right now, here's where I could be when the opportunity presents itself. As long as, the risk is not too much to tolerate, you make a move. And that's kind of what I did.
Yeah. And then one day I get up.
Lots of people got up.
You know what I mean? I want to go to Soul Crab. Food was so delicious.
Thank you.
Tell my wife, like, yo, come on, let's go. We get there, and the doors are closed.
Doors are closed. Isn't that horrible?
It was a horrible feeling, I swear, because I don't think y'all understand how good the food was.
No, I appreciate
that.
that.
Like, the food was so good.
I appreciate that.
That we were like, yo, come on, let's go. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
And we, I mean, we look online and look like everything's all good.
No,
like,
it's closed.
you know what I'm saying? We get there, and they're like, nah, it's closed. And I'm like, oh, are they opening to, like, nah, they closed.
Closed.
What happened?
So, lots of things happened. The main thing is my mental health. So I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety and was on medication for it as well. And, you know, after talking to my therapist and my psychiatrist, one of the issues it was the triggers. Wow. And when you run a restaurant, just a regular, forget successful restaurant. When you run a restaurant, there's so many points of control that you got to watch out for. If the prep team doesn't come in on time, the line cooks can't do their job. Line cooks don't come in on time for the first shift, second shift, line cooks can't do their job. If evening shift didn't clean properly, when the morning shift gets in, they can't do their job. So it's all these control points that you have to monitor and make sure that the stuff is okay. On top of that, running a restaurant is like running a daycare. I have managers you're paying $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year to who are actually in fistfights with line cooks. Wow. You know what I mean? Wow. And vice versa. Yeah. I mean, and it's like, yo, I'm on tour. So I'm in LA trying to do my thing for people who paid their hard-earned money in LA, and they're calling me saying there's a fist fight in the restaurant. I'm like, come on, y'all.
And so you're still doing your cooking?
Yeah, I was still doing my, still doing the tours.
Yep.
And it just became to be a lot. You know, 110 employees, it just became to be so much. So I talked to my immediate circle of friends, and they said, do what you got to do. Yeah. Do what you got to do. So, and there is no template to closing a restaurant, right? Because if I tell you, all right, I'm closing a restaurant in 30 days. Yeah. What's going to happen is that you're going to have employees who are like, F it, I'm out.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if they go and I'm on tour, how do you service customers who are coming in? You can't get to them because you don't have enough staff, as we can clearly see what's going on now in the restaurant industry. So anyway, man, so I closed it, and 2 weeks, well, I got a lot of flack for closing it. I employed 110 people, so, and I'm like, man, restaurants close all the time. You know what I'm saying? Companies close all the time. Why is there a target on my back for me closing? But you know, hey, it is what it is. So I close the restaurants. The news picks it up. Everybody picks it up. I'm horrible. You know, people out of work. Not to mention, everybody could go file unemployment, all that good stuff. So I closed it all, and 2 weeks later, COVID hits, and now everybody got to close.
Right.
So luckily, I got out literally just in enough time before COVID hit.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then so now, I know, you have this community. Yeah. You're building this community. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's, the timeline of you starting to venture into like credit repair. And, starting that.
Well, that was earlier. Okay. So. Again, I'm a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Any opportunity where it is congruent with what I'm doing and I can earn money, let's go for it. Yeah. So I actually fixed my own credit. So I bought my first house, I closed in 2016. When I first was on the journey to do it, I think I had maybe a 540, 550 credit score, right? You're not getting anything with a 550 credit score. Okay. Right. So I fixed my credit to the point where I was able to get, a mortgage for $400,000. And so I was like, well, if I could do this for myself, surely I could do it for other people, right? It wasn't a heavy lift, so I said, let's do it. So I started a credit repair company, and I'm fixing people's credit all over the place. People's credit scores are increasing. And then we get a knock on the door, a knock on the telephone and the email. And now we're under investigation by the, I guess it's Georgia. No. It's like the Georgia, like Attorney General's office,
Okay, got it,
Consumer
yep.
Protection, something or other.
Yep.
Completely unaware that credit repair, the way we were doing it, is considered illegal in the state of Georgia. Doesn't matter if you're helping people or not.
Right.
It's considered illegal. So you have to be a real estate agent, an attorney, or nonprofit in order to have people pay for credit repair in the state of Georgia. That's it. So didn't know about it. My attorney solves everything, deals with everybody, and comes back and says, I got two things. You got good news and bad news.
Yeah.
The good news, I got you out, you're good to go.
Yeah.
The bad news is gonna cost you $140,000. Write me a check, I did, we're done. That's it.
And you were able to do that because of the other businesses that you created, making,
Yeah, the good thing about it is so this was 2019.
Yeah.
Remember I told you I started pretty much when I quit my job in 2015.
Yeah.
So if I'm in it for 4 solid years as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur and I can't trick off 150 grand, 140 grand, what am I really doing as an entrepreneur? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the way I look at it. Money for me is a means to get my time back. So if that's what it costs for me to get my time back, that's what it costs. Let's do it.
Yeah. And so now fast forward 2021, I remember laying in my bed and my wife's on Instagram.
Yep.
And all I keep hearing is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching,
which we
cha-ching,
love. Yeah, we love that.
cha-ching.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, why I keep hearing this cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching?
What is that?
So I roll over. I'm like, yo, what is this? She's like, yo, this dude, he just sold 8,000 books. And he literally just put the book on sale, and those are his Shopify cha-chings.
Yeah.
And I want to say, in like a half an hour, I watch you make $500,000.
Yeah, that works.
Talk to me about that, bro. That's different, though. That's different.
No. It trips me out too. Don't let me. I'm calm.
Yeah.
But it flips me out as well when you realize the magnitude. So that was the deciding factor. When I quit my job in 2015, I was using a platform called what's the ticket platform everybody use?
Eventbrite.
Eventbrite.
Yeah.
Using Eventbrite. And Eventbrite moved me, because I guess what happens is you do an event, they wait till after the event, they pay you the ticket sales. They moved me to what they call advanced payouts, because I was bringing in so much money. So they would pay me out the 15th and last day of each month, say for 3% for incidentals or whatever. My first deposit from them when they told me they were switching me was $60,000, right? It's a brand new entrepreneur. Now 60 grand, ain't really much or nothing, but starting out as a brand new entrepreneur in this particular field, I was like, wow, that really flipped me. So it's the same feeling now that I had then, and so that's just the testament of starting and building a community, right? I always say there's two things. If you solve problems and you add value, you will forever be considered a subject matter expert, and people will always come to you. And so in the community, two things that I strive to do is help people, give them a voice and allow them a place to belong. But then also, we solve a lot of problems. We do a lot of conversation, a lot of communication, a lot of talks. And I do a lot of cooking. So people who are stuck in, how to make gravy, how to make white rice, or whatever the case may be, they get tools and tips from me. So, and I don't sell, which is very interesting. I just make an offer.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be sold to. Nobody.
Yeah.
Don't chase me around, asking me, do you need help? You know, make me an offer. And so that's what I do. So I make an offer. Sometimes it's at full price.
Right.
Sometimes it's at a discount.
Right.
It's up to you. You know, it just depends on the day.
Right.
And people go, I want to be a part of that. They want to be a part. And then they support by buying whatever I'm offering.
Nah, and I love that because you're absolutely right. Because after she put me on, I'm like, all right, let me follow this guy. I'm like watching, and I'm like, yo, literally, I think I was watching one video. It's crazy. You're cooking, you're cooking, and then nonchalantly you like, oh yeah, I just put the cookbook on sale, and you're still cooking. You didn't say, yo, go buy my cookbook. Make sure you go get it. You literally you cooking, and you're like, yeah, I just put the cookbook on sale, and then you're like, cha-ching, 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 and start going crazy. And I'm like, yo, it's so crazy how when you build a community. That's what happens, and that's why I'm honored that you're here.
Sure.
Because as a fan, I don't see you on media. Like, I don't see you on other platforms. Like, you have literally created your own platform. Like you have like a cult following. They rock with you. Like, literally, when you did the cooking with Darius or dining with Darius, I was like, yo, wife is like, yo, come on, let's go. We weren't even gonna go to Atlanta though. We said, yo, if we're gonna go, like, why would we go cooking with? Why would we go to Atlanta?
Let's go someplace else. Yeah.
And so we were looking. I want to say it had to be like 2020. And you had your 2021 dates out, and we couldn't get a date.
No. So yeah.
Can you slide us in though?
No, I can't. I wish I could. I can't do it. I wish I could.
Yeah.
So what I do is every April I put tickets on sale for the next year.
Yeah.
So I put tickets on sale this past April for next year, and those sold out like crazy, right? But then I was like, well, I got a couple of free weeks this year in 2021. Yeah. So I was like, well, let me see what I could do. So I put together a mini schedule, a mini tour, and those went just like that as well. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how these I don't even know.
Right.
I can't even begin to figure this out, but 1.3, $1.4 million in like 48 hours in tickets. It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. All right, y'all, you already know my man Dave Anderson is definitely helping entrepreneurs get amazing levels of success. Yo, he's helped his clients generate over $118 million in 2020 during the pandemic. And then now you can get unprecedented access to him and his team with his program, Bully One-on-One. You're gonna learn business from one of the best business coaches in the world for less than the cost of your cell phone bill. So here's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a digital membership card that entitles you to get free access to the Business Bully virtual events and online workshops, unlimited access to their exclusive digital university with hours on demand, with business knowledge at your fingertips, zero fluff, no BS, monthly private masterminds with Dave and his team. You'll get special celebrity guest mastermind sessions. You'll learn business, all of the things that you need to take your life to the next level. All you gotta do, look, enroll now at bully101.com, bully101.com. Let's get it. All right, let's get back to the show. How does that feel, right? To be at a space where, once upon a time, you literally had to work 80 hours a week to make $150,000 in a year. Now in 48 hours, you're making 9 years of your salary.
It's a very humbling experience.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody tells you. People that walk around with the big head like, I did that. No, it's a very humbling experience. And it also, it almost quiets you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because you go, wow, I was chosen to do this work. Now, don't get me wrong. I definitely worked my behind off to get to where I have to get to, but I was chosen to do this work. And this is the compensatory response for me just saying, yes, I'm gonna follow my passion. And I think it's amazing when that happens. So every time it happens, and I run a sale, every single time, it always flips me out every time.
Man. And what kind of mindset do you have to be prepared to receive that level of abundance? Because I know there's a lot of people that say they want, y'all want this abundance, I want this abundance. And so I'm a big believer of the law of attraction and being able to manifest things. And there are a lot of people who, like, in the midst of manifestation, they start to self-sabotage because they're not ready to receive that level of abundance. So what type of mindset did you have to be able to make $500,000 in a half an hour, 1.3 million in 48 hours? Like, that's another,
Yeah, no, I hear you. So I think it's a couple things. One is there is a trajectory, right? That kind of, I don't care how you manifest, I don't care how you put and declare what you have to put in the atmosphere. There is a level to how that happens, right? So it doesn't happen just because you want it to happen. There are lots of lessons you have to learn along the way that sets you up, right? Nobody joins a basketball team, goes and plays their first game and then starts winning championships, right? So it's the same when it comes to this level of success, right? There is a journey that you have to go on, and everything becomes a lesson in life. Everything. If you don't master the first lesson, you're gonna have to repeat it because you're not moving on to the next lesson. You know what I mean? So I had to learn in terms of mindset how to focus on my own work, even to the point when I was tired and didn't want to work. I still had to get up and make stuff happen. You know, those TikTok videos don't make themselves, those viral YouTube videos don't make themselves. So it's that like muscle memory that you always have to do. There will be tons of people who will try to sabotage your name, who will hate on the work that you do, who will say, you know, well, I could have done it, but the difference is you didn't do it. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Talk heavy.
So, but it's also knowing the fact that they didn't do it. I still got to remain humble in that because I did do it. You know what I mean? So I think when you talk about mindset, there's this whole idea of like stuff that you can do, but you got to practice discipline because if you don't practice discipline, not being humble, you could lose it all. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I could walk around with the big head, wearing Gucci, wearing Fendi, you know, doing this, doing that, but that gets us where? Nowhere.
Absolutely.
And I actually prefer the reason you don't see me on other people's platforms. I actually prefer just communicating with my normal followers. That's it. I don't need to be on the Housewives. I don't need to be cooking for celebrities. They don't. Some of them don't pay half the time. No way. So I'm good with just my people. So when you talk about mindset, I think it's just like I said, understanding the focus. You know, honing in on your work and removing this idea of competition. Get that out the way. Remove that. Like the only person I'm gonna compete with is who I was yesterday. I'm not about to battle you. I'm not going on no show. I'm not doing that. I don't owe anybody any answer except for the people that support me and myself. That's it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, again, that your level of success is a testament to that because again, it's, you know, you've been at the cutting edge of building community. Not in 2021, but you've been doing it for a while. And so what happens is it's that organic growth.
But
truthfully,
it's so important to do. I think that sometimes a lot of entrepreneurs, what they'll do is they'll say, hey, you know, I have a new product. And they put the product out and they're like, it's a great product. That's fantastic. It's a great product. But there's nobody here to buy the product. You see what I'm saying? You put the cart before the horse. If you build the community first and get people rallied around a particular cause or thought or an idea, before you launch a product, you already have a built-in audience ready to go. That way, when you do offer the product congruent to what you've been working on, people go, I'm in. What do you have? You know what I mean? So to bring that to reality, I just launched a new Darius Cooks Everyday Skillet. It's a skillet. Okay, skillet with honeycomb technology, non-stick. It's a beautiful skillet. I launched this skillet and I'm already sold out of the skillet. The orders that I had already sold out, and I launched it like 8 days ago. Who would have known? A skillet. A skillet.
Right.
But if I wasn't in tune with my community, that wouldn't have been able to happen.
And I love it because, like, again, there is a humility and appreciation for your community because even when you are celebrating the win, you are doing it in a way that is grateful to the community, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also, because of that humility, it actually inspires people to, you know, want to do better, right? Because you know, again, like my wife, you know, she writes books. IamRoyalty.com. She writes, IamRoyaltyBooks.com. Let me get that right. But she writes children's books. And I remember, like, during the pandemic, you know, we're putting books together, and, you know, I want to say, you know, one of the books she did on Mansa Musa did like 100 sales, and so we're printing out the labels, and then we see yours, and we see you. So it was a simple post with 8,000 labels, right? And it wasn't even like. There was no hate. It wasn't like y'all, but it was just like she said, look, that's goals. Like, yo, Darius could do 8,000 books.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I want to sell 8,000. I want to be able to print 8,000 labels.
In last November, because I mean, if you think about what I do, so I do lifestyle content, right? Lifestyle content picks up typically in the fall because people are back to school, but especially around the holidays. We did 27,000 orders in November alone. 27,000 orders. I worked so hard.
Yeah, for sure.
I worked like 5 a.m. until midnight. I would go home, go to bed for 4 hours, get back up the next morning, and we would just, all we could do was pack and ship, pack and ship, pack and ship, pack and ship. And I had a smaller warehouse. I have a 10,000 square foot warehouse now, the smaller warehouse. The pallets of books, they're like massive. They were at the door. We basically were packing our way. And as we would pack, we would break down the boxes so we could actually get into the warehouse because there was no room.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hold on, don't press that button because that's what I do every time I'm looking at an ad that I don't want to see. This ad just happened to be life-changing. I just happen to own one of the biggest home healthcare companies in the state of Georgia. I can help you create your own. Just to give you a little bit of insight, I send out registered nurses, LPNs, and CNAs to take care of people inside of the homes that cannot take care of themselves. But guess what? You don't have to have any medical background and you don't have to have any medical knowledge. So if you're wanting to change your life and you have a passion for actually taking care of people, then go ahead and sign up for Home Healthcare Blueprint. I'll see you guys later.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, no, it's a complete blessing.
Yeah.
Crazy as hell to do it that way, but again, complete blessing.
And I'm glad you said that because I think that's the other thing, right? We talk about, I made 1.4.
There's the
right?
work.
But there's
work.
Right, there's work that comes with that, right? So it's good to be inspired, right, by the success.
Sure.
But understand that success doesn't last if the fulfillment and the customer satisfaction isn't there.
Yeah,
right?
so if you think about the way we work, it's not just that you can make the money, you got to do the work, but you also want to make the money, do the work, and work smarter, not harder, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example of how I'm like positioning my businesses. So I run a pound cake company called CarolinaPoundCakes.com. And regular price of pound cake is $50. A skillet runs $99. The effort to produce 2 pound cakes is quadruple the effort it takes to pack 1 skillet.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, am I really working smarter or not, right?
Yeah.
And so that's just where my mindset always constantly goes. I'm always looking internally at processes. I'm looking at internally at like what I'm offering and saying, does this make sense? Is this the most efficient way to do this? If it is, great. If it's not, let's figure out how to make it happen and then let's do it.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And so now that you have, this community, you're making money, are there any plans of ever going back brick and mortar or no? Yeah. Why not?
It just doesn't make sense to do it.
Yeah.
I have somewhat brick and mortar with the warehouses, but the energy and effort it took, and like, so running a restaurant, let's just use $1 million. Running a restaurant is cool. You can make $1 million. Let's call it $1 million in a year, right? But how much does it cost you to make $1 million, right? So if it costs me $950,000 to make $1 million, does that really make sense, right? Or if I'm in an e-commerce situation and I say I'm making $1 million, but to make $1 million, it only costs me $115,000 to make $1 million. Which one is the better choice?
Right,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I look at how to make the right decision.
Yeah.
And brick and mortar for me just ain't it. Just ain't it. Plus you need staff, you need labor.
Yep.
We're going through a really hard time in this country with the labor force right now. You got cats like McDonald's offering $18 an hour to flip burgers.
Yeah.
I'm good on that. I think like my level of peace, my level of tranquility, my level of calm. At this age of my life, I'll be 40 in a couple of months. At this age of my life, it's just, that is paramount for me versus, trying to own a million restaurants.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because that was going to be my next question, because you talked about, battling with depression and anxiety, and now being at a space of peace and tranquility. How do you maintain that peace? Do you still have your therapist? Do you still have a support system?
So my support system is still there. Therapist is still there. Medication is there if I need it. We thank God for sativa and indica, especially in gummy format, because when you're having a bad day, that takes that gets you where you got to go. I think it's also just knowing your triggers, knowing what to consume, what not to consume, knowing what energies to put up with, what energies not to put up with. The moment I feel like there's negative energy around, I'm out the door. I'm good. You feel me? I can go over here. If I wanted to be in negative energy, I'd sign up for it. I don't want it, you know? And when people like, you know, talk about you or bring up your name or try to, you know, spew lies about you, you just go, okay, checked out. I don't want to be involved in that. That's your thing. If you don't like me, that's on you. That's not on me. I'm out the door. That's it.
No, I love it. I love it. And then you know, talk about your body transformation journey, right? Because I mean, for me, I'm a big guy too, right? And so look, I got a messed up ankle because I still thought I could play sports and I should have left it alone, but that's a different story. You know, but you had a body transformation.
Still transforming. This whole body, man.
So talk to us a little bit about that and how is your health adding to your, you know, to your peace of mind?
Yeah, so I used to weigh, my heaviest was 452 pounds. So I had weight loss surgeries, VSG, vertical sleeve gastrectomy. People call it the sleeve normally. I had that in 2018. So that dropped a lot of weight considerably, but a lot of weight fast. And so my body, you know, my abdomen and stuff, because I carry so much weight in my stomach, it wasn't looking right. So I had to get that reconstructed. So I started with liposuction that I had first. Then last year I had a tummy tuck. It's an abdominoplasty where they basically like cut off a part of your stomach, the flab, and then pull everything down and sew you a new belly button and then sew it. It's tripped out. So I did that. And then I still had just a couple of little problem areas. So I went back 3 weeks ago and got a little, you know, little touch up from that, and then that's it. So now it's like, you know, doing the healthy thing. It's the, you know, the exercise, the limiting calories. But I feel like if you want to be successful, I feel like you got to master discipline. I think, and sacrifice. Discipline and sacrifice. And so being on a weight loss journey, that's all it is. Discipline, sacrifice. If you can master discipline, sacrifice over weight, you can master discipline, sacrifice over money. You can manage discipline, sacrifice over energy. You can manage, you know, you can manage discipline, sacrifice over how you manifest. So there's all these other areas that are congruent. They fit together really well. But the key is discipline and sacrifice.
I love that. I love that. Man, so take me back, right? 18-year-old Darius Williams, aka Darius Cooks. You know, you are where you are today, and you're talking to young Darius at 18 years old. What advice are you giving him?
Oh gosh, enjoy life, laugh as much as possible. It will be okay, regardless of what you think right now. You will survive. And I think a key, and I get this from a buddy of mine who is a gospel artist. One of the lyrics of her song, Anita Wilson says, everything that I am supposed to be, basically I already am. So, and that's hard to comprehend when you are 18 years old. But the older you get, you look back and you go, oh yeah, I'm made for this, right? Everything I went through, and you can't see it because there's all these little bits and pieces, but it's like when you start to look back, everything that I was going through, everything I endured, everything I encountered, everything I learned, everything I failed, is all literally for this moment that I'm in. So I would tell myself that, you know, hey, who you're going to become, you already got it inside of you.
I love that. I love that. And so, you know, from a money perspective, right? Did you grow up rich? Did you have rich parents? You had a trust fund?
What are you talking about? Man, we ate ramen noodles. We had roaches. What do you mean? Did I grow up? We never had a car. We were on the bus, on the train in Chicago. No, we grew up poor as heck.
And so now that you are experiencing financial abundance, what are some money myths that, you know, growing up, some things you thought about money or you were taught about money?
I wouldn't talk nothing about money.
Right, okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nobody taught me anything about money. I don't know. I had to learn about money the hard way, being broke. You know, I used to be one of those kids who I would have to, like, you get paid on Friday.
Yeah.
So I would fill my car up on Thursday with my debit card.
Yeah.
And because it was only $1, you know.
Yeah.
And then it would put your account in the negative.
Facts.
Yeah,
I've been there.
But because you're getting paid
Facts.
tomorrow, you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's how poor I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would write a check hoping you would hold on to it and not cash it. So I don't really know any myths per se, because I'm still like, I have friends. It's so funny. Like, I surround myself with other high figure earners. Yeah. And I'm looking at their investment strategies and what they're doing, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, that's a little too risky for me. But I'm learning how to relax a little bit more. But when you grow up not having it, you want to hold on to it. So when you open up the account and you look and you see a certain dollar amount, you're like, okay, I'm cool. But one of the things that is, I think everybody should understand is, if you want to make money, you got to spend it. You got to spend it. That's a biblical principle, sowing and reaping, right? Whatever you want to reap, you can reap the harvest, but you got to sow the seed.
You got to sow the seed.
Yeah, got to sow the seed.
And so what are some ways, if you are, that you're investing your money or diversifying?
Well, on myself, for one. I don't believe, this is gonna sound real crazy, I don't believe in the stock market, right? It's too volatile. Eventually it'll come back around. I'm cool on that. What I believe in is saying, how could I take my own money, invest it in myself, and then generate a return, right? So I partner with a manufacturer to get all my kitchenware and my skillets and whatnot made. That was a pretty hefty upfront cost, right? But it'll bring me back tenfold. I don't know anything that's going to get you 1,000% in less than 6 months in the stock market. You tell me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So I'm a big proponent of saying, let me take my own money, invest it in my own stuff. I write my own cookbooks. You see what I'm saying? So I pay a staff who takes my photos, edits my photos, does all my video, and we spin that around into content, but then I use that content for things like cookbooks, and then I generate a return. So I'm not really into, I'm into real estate a little bit. I did buy a second house I paid for in cash. But for the most part, I'm into, how do I elevate my brand by reinvesting that money back into my brand? So you'll see me do that a lot.
Yeah, no, it's funny because, one of our past guests, shout out to Marquel Russell, he's really good at Facebook. And so he's like, yo, a lot of my high earner friends tell me, yo, take that 60 grand, put it in Bitcoin or the market. But he said, yo, if I put 60 grand in ads, I know I'm making 200,000 or more. So why, why would I, do
that's
that?
the mindset. The mindset is, if you have a surefire way to invest the money back into your own or into a business, and you know what you can walk away in terms of a return, it makes the investment much more palatable. Right? So I don't want to drop $250,000 on products and equipment, but if I know that $250 is about to net me 2.5,
right, it's a no-brainer.
Here you go.
And so, with this financial abundance, what would you say is the most lavish thing you've done with money?
The most lavish thing I've done with money. Probably my mindset. My mindset is such, my earning years. So if I this is probably irresponsible, but sometimes spend a bag, get it right back. You know what I mean? So I bought a house. I spent $300K on a house. I bought a Range Rover. It was $100,000 for the Range Rover.
Supercharged.
Yeah, supercharger, HSC. So I traded in my BMW. They gave me some money, and I paid the rest in cash. For my house in Texas, I bought a Cadillac XT6 for it. Paid cash for that. That's about it, man.
Okay.
Maybe some renovations on the house. But that's about it. I'm a little conservative.
Yep. And so what would you say is the most impactful thing you've done with money so far?
Give it away. Give it away. Yeah, I've without bragging, I've helped lots of people, keep their house, save their house. I bought cars for people. I had a friend of mine in Chicago. She does this thing called the Sandwich Ministry. So out of the kindness of heart, she got 3 kids and a husband. She and a team, they make sandwiches. They stand on the corner on the south side of Chicago, and they give out sandwiches. And then on Fridays, they do double so kids can have food through the weekend, because you wouldn't believe the number of kids who don't have enough to eat. at home. So she does this. And I told her, as long as she's doing this, she doesn't have to worry about a donation ever again.
Wow.
Like whatever you need, you come to me, I'll finance it.
Wow.
Done.
Wow.
So I think that's probably one of the most impact. And I don't brag about it, talk about it, but it's not everybody's business to know.
For sure.
But that's one of the causes I believe in.
Yeah,
Nobody should be hungry. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And so now somebody who's watching this is in a situation where they have a 9 to 5. They have a passion. They love doing something. They want to mix that passion with a paycheck. But they had that 9 to 5. They gotta pay the bills. What advice are you giving to that person?
Stay at that 9 to 5.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I would never advise leaving your 9 to 5 until your side hustle produces what you need to survive off of.
Yeah.
But while you're in that 9 to 5, let that 9 to 5 finance all the other things that you need to do. You need to start building a community, right? It's getting tough out here to grab people's attention. Right. So you need to start now with building a community. Start now with identifying how you're gonna help people. Before you determine what you're going to sell, determine how you're going to serve, right? That's a big misnomer that people walk away from going, well, I just wanna sell, I wanna sell. No, you need to serve first and then sell later. So how are you effectively going to do that and what that audience looks like? So those are all things you could do right now while working a 9 to 5 job.
I love that. I love that. And then now you also, it's post-pandemic now, where things are looking like they're opening up.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
We
right?
hope so.
Yeah, right. And you have an entrepreneur who says, listen, I went through what I went through, 2020, this is my season. And they're ready to kind of like, take that next step. What would you tell an entrepreneur who is ready to go to that next level, but just doesn't know, how to get to that next level?
I say that shouldn't stop you from getting to a next level if you don't know how. There are people who do. So there's coaches, there's mentors. Find one. And sit under them. One of my passion projects for quarantine was I went around and played the piano. I knew I didn't know how to play it. Find a coach who could teach you. That way you can get to where you got to get to. And that's humbling for a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, because we feel like we can just about do anything, right? Anything I need to be able to do in my business, I can do it. Until you try to play the piano. Right. And you're God, I don't know how to, so I get stuck. So that's also very humbling because it lets you know, hey, you don't know everything. And there's somebody else out there who has the key to unlock the door you want to go through. That's who you got to partner with and be with. So never be, too closed-minded that you miss out on blessing and opportunity because you're too not humble enough. Not humble enough.
Right. I love it. And so last but not least, before we get to the lightning round, because we got a lightning round, but last but not least, lightning round.
Okay.
But last but not least, what's next? What's next for Darius Cooks?
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Tired. I'm chilling. No, I have a tour coming up. So at least for the next, I'm saying 3 to 4 years, I'm going to be doing Dining with Darius Cooks. So, and that's a big undertaking. I am. I think for a couple of these events, I'm gone for 3 weeks at a time on the road, straight for 3 weeks. With some cities, we have dinner parties Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We have 7 in a row. You know what I'm saying? So what does it take to pull that off? You can only imagine a lot. So at least for the next 3 years, I'm doing that. I have a whole slew of kitchen equipment coming out. So I have an air fryer, pressure cooker, everyday skillet. I got a 7-piece enamel pot set, cast iron pot set coming. We are finishing up the next cookbook, which is going to be Apply Pressure, but with soul. So it's a pressure cooker cookbook. I got one coming from the air fryer. I got wine glasses and decanters coming. So those are going to be, I got a book coming out for that, appetizers and a cocktail book. The Darius, I got an everyday knife and a knife shop. I just listen.
$1 billion Darius. I see what you're doing. Because you think about George Foreman, who made a fortune off a George Foreman grill. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm out here.
I see what you're doing.
I'm out here.
I see what you're doing.
But what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
When you get to this level in your career, you got 3 million followers on social media. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to just sit back and do nothing, or are you supposed to maximize every opportunity you can? There's no middleman.
Right.
This is between me and the money.
You're the plug and the source.
There's no middleman whatsoever.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got an app coming out too.
Yeah.
I got a Darius Cooks Plus app. So we'll be able to, all the recipes and the videos will be on the app. We've been shooting since January.
Wow.
So then when the app launches, all the content is ready for the app.
Yeah.
So we've been busy.
Nah, I love it. I love it. I told y'all it's gonna be powerful. If y'all not picking up what Darius is cooking, pun intended, then I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. We not the greatest money mindset show on the planet for no reason. We bringing you certified receipts. Go check that IG. All right. Let's go to the lightning round.
Lightning round.
So lightning round, what we do is we take bank terms. And we just kind of flip the bank terms, right? And so we're gonna give you 3. So the first one we're gonna say is deposit slip, right? Deposit slip, as you know, you go into a bank, you fill it out, you put money in the bank. But for us here inside the vault, deposit slip is a slip up, it's a money mistake. What would you say it has been your biggest deposit slip so far?
My biggest deposit slip would probably be not fully listening to my audience. So I had a candle line. Now I'm a kitchen dude.
Yeah.
Why are you creating candles?
Facts.
I don't know. It sounded like it was a good idea,
Right,
so I went with it.
Yeah.
I recouped all the money I spent, but it wasn't as profitable as like the cookbook business has been. So I think for me it was not fully listening to myself.
Yeah.
And I think in this situation, you got to remove yourself from the equation, listen to the people, and do what the people want you to do.
No, I love it. I love it. Second term, charge off. You go to the bank, you borrow some money, you don't pay it back, they charge it off, right?
And it goes on your credit.
Good, right? For us, inside the vault, charge off is about what type of mindset or people did you had to let go of that you had to charge off while you were on your journey?
Everybody who wasn't on the same wavelength as I was, got to go. We can be cool. I can see you later, but I only surround myself around people who completely understand. Even when I say I'm not gonna tell you what I said because I'm not ready to announce it just yet. But I talked to one of my best friends, Kim McCarter. She's an amazing entrepreneur. She's a wealth strategist and a coach. And I told her, I said, hey, I'm gonna do A, B, and C. And she said, that makes perfect sense because DEF, right? Boom.
Yeah.
Now tell it to somebody else who's not of that same wavelength. Well, why would you do that? And I don't think you should. That don't sound like a good idea to me. So anybody who can't see the vision the same way I see it, what's the use in having you around in that area? I'm not saying just charge all people and get rid of them. But in terms of like mindset, like we got to be thinking the same, talking the same, or else. We can talk about something else.
Let me expound on that a little bit though. Like, so does that mean if she would have said no, it was a bad idea, but you respect her mind, you wouldn't have done it? Or is it like, no, it's a good idea, I'm gonna manifest this? Like what's the line?
So it's not always about somebody agreeing with you. It's about somebody taking the time to understand. My best friend, who is a board certified anesthesiologist and is a high income earner and worth over $1 million, emphatically told me, do not do dining with Darius Cooks. It is a horrible idea. He told me that in 2015. I just made $1.4 million from dining with Darius Cooks. We're still best friends today. You know what I'm saying? So you don't dismiss, and he will come to you and say, I said it. He's right. I've apologized. I was wrong. But that's relationship. Right? But that's relationship. So you don't cut somebody off because of it, but you got to understand the kind of energy you need to support 7-figure ideas.
Absolutely.
If you got people who can't understand and support 4-figure ideas, why am I going to you to get your validation for a 7-figure idea? You're not going to get it. It's not going to make sense to you. So that's what I mean when I say, be sure who you're talking to, who's in the corner, and the thought and wavelength you can charge off versus those who you should probably be listening to going, okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Love it. Last one, trust account, right? So a trust account is where you take your assets, you put it, you protect it, it helps you grow, right? What are the mindsets and the types of people that are in your trust account that help you grow? Mindset first.
Mindset. Interesting. Okay, so mindset people who are in my trust account are people who have come through adversity and who have excelled to a point where they have assets, they have the kind of life that they have manifested for themselves. These are also people who don't make excuses, and people who are not afraid to roll their sleeves up and get stuff done if it has to get done, right? So that's the mindset that I kind of want to be around, because that's just kind of how I am. And the thing is, when it comes time to making money, whatever you got to do to get it done, you do. When I was running restaurants, I was washing dishes. I was working the fryer. I was waiting tables. It's like, whatever needs to be done, let me just knock it out and get it done. So those are the kinds of mindsets that I typically have in my
And what does your team look like though, right? As somebody who is a high earner, someone successful, is it a one man show, or like what's the support system looking like?
I operate real lean. You won't believe, I operate real lean. So I have one person who runs the warehouse. And then I have 1, 2, 3 other employees that work for me. So I have, or then I guess employees, they are on payroll. But my creative director who edits all my videos, Shakiria, Madeline, who is my food stylist and food photographer. So she takes all the pictures and all the cookbooks. Anything you see me post on social media, majority of that comes from her. That's her work that she's done for me. And then I have Eugene now, Eugene Bussey, who's my videographer. So he does all of my, he shoots all of our videos.
Nice.
So that's it. So I pay 4 people every week, and it's probably about $4,000 in payroll a week, $16,000 a month.
And to run a multi-million-dollar empire.
I keep it very, very. I use systems.
Right, absolutely.
There's so many systems and there's so many automations that you don't need people when you have automations.
I love it. My brother, it was like such a pleasure, like really a pleasure.
Thank you
for being here. If somebody wanted to connect with you, they wanted to tap in, and I'm gonna tell y'all this one thing. He got this cookbook. I wish I would have bought it. It's a cookbook that's sold, but it's vegan.
Vegan,
that vegan mac and cheese is different, bro. Yo, it's different.
Well, I listened to my audience. They wanted vegan food, but I had to do it my way. So I'm not into the processed foods, right? I'm not into the processed burgers, so much of the fake meat. I like vegetables. So I wanted to create something that was like in my field, but also vegan. You're not gonna lose no weight eating that vegan food though. So no,
that's a fact though. I'll tell you that though. And I'm glad you said that. That vegan mac and cheese is everything, but you're not gonna.
You're not gonna lose that because the food's so good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so tasty that you like. Hey, I want some more. The smothered cauliflower, you be like, is this? I thought this was chicken. No, it's cauliflower, and it tastes so good.
I think you had like a jerk.
I got jerk cauliflower, rice and peas. I got all kind of stuff.
That coconut rice.
I got all kind of stuff. I got all kind of stuff.
Chill.
I got all kind of stuff. I'm telling you.
Yo, listen. Darius Cooks, if they want to connect with you, where can they find you?
My site is dariuscooks.tv, and then I'm Darius Cooks on every platform: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. What am I missing? Twitter. No Snapchat. No Snapchat. But Facebook definitely.
Listen, y'all. I promise you, this has been a powerful episode. If you need to go back and catch a lot of the bars that he dropped, please go back. Please share this video. One thing that I noticed that's the common theme in all of the multi-millionaires that we're interviewing. It's about mindset, it's about sacrifice, and it's about discipline. Mindset, sacrifice, and discipline. If you have that and you have a plan and you know what you want, I promise you everything that you've ever dreamed of and beyond is possible. We are closing out the vault, another powerful episode. Make sure you follow us every platform at Inside the Vault. Follow me at I am Ash Cash. And thank you so much for your support. Like, subscribe, share the Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, the greatest money mindset show on the entire planet. I'm gonna see y'all next time, same place. Peace.
Oh yeah. You want Ash Cash, you can catch it right here in the vault.